asleep, the stench of the night now pervades her, and Trillian's poses.
Please give me back my doll. It's all I have left of Mother.
From what I know, the child is an orphan of Hollister's age. Though she was adopted, she struggles to fit in with her new family and feels alone. Tell me, mortal, in what times do you expect? All 900 are by certain needs. When some people deprive them of need, their hearts come to harbour a void which torment wonders. This torment then assumes terrible forms in dreams and takes root in the dreamer's heart.
Tragic enough, though, this little girl lost her mother. She also had her doll, her source of solace, taken from her by her stepmother.
It is a heart-rending tale. Yes, truly heart-rending slur. Are distinctly sweet aroma, I can't resist it anymore.
I'm gonna look away.
If y'all excuse me, friends, it's time for me to do what I do best. This very flavour sunburn, and the child is free of freedom.
What's the matter?
The nightmare is richer than anything I'd ever need to know. My belly, I think him going to throw up.
What? You can't. We'd be back to where we start. Leave that child alone. Who are you? Judging by your color, you're not from Nidamara. Who am I? I suppose a lad will... So, lad, you have lots of power, that much is plain. Are you the one plaguing the children with nightmare? Plaguing? We simply share in each other's misery. That child understands me, understands my loneliness. So I see even if it could, the dream will always return, for the child's own heart.
She can't break free of the dreams holding her mind, and never to soon she will die.
What a pain this is. It doesn't bother me so much what happens to a few mortals, but it does bother me to have our precious garden ruined.
Cyanide hates it if my powers this way, but if it's the child's own heart that embraces the night, then we'll just need to change.
Estelle, you can bring that nightmare back up, but first, we have to get somewhere far away from... I need your help too! Come on! Why must you torment me? This is where you come in. Vanquish that nightmare creature. Chose their sapling well. Now then, your victory will have changed the ending to the child's dream. She'll awaken feeling as though she has conquered her fears.
Had you not felt that nightmare, it would inevitably find its way back to the child. Excellently done, Rokoko.
Right. Let's hurry back to Sullen and see how she fares. Ezel and I will hide and leave the talking to you.
Fall asleep? Thanks for waking me up.
There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Mother's worried, so hurry up and go home.
But, brother, I'm sorry. It seems I dozed off. Wait! There's something I want you to know. It's been lonely. I didn't know how to fit in, what to say and what to do.
What's this all of a sudden? You haven't so much as spoken a dozen words to us before, much less talked about your feelings.
I know. I was too scared to. I don't... There's one other thing. The doll. It was a present from my mother. She gave it to me so I wouldn't be lonely.
Is that the way of it? I'm sorry. I didn't realise how important it was to you. I only meant to tease you is all. I'll give it back, alright? So come on, let's go home together. It seems you've been watching over my sister. Thank you.
Please take care and see you again.
I see by eliminating the child's nightmare, we brought a positive change in her reality, thereby eliminating the void in which her torment resided.
Something like that. And Lad appeared to be drawn to the torment in her heart. With it gone, they have no more reason to plague her. And with that, we may begin reclaiming our precious Leahy egg. No matter what, I'll keep it safe. I promise you, Titania. Teehee, you're even more adorable when confused. For now, let's just say you've done me a great service. By way of thanks, it's only fitting that I invite you to our playground. Come to Lidha Laran and seek out my friend Thom Sul. They'll show you the way in.
Having played an instrumental part in our success goes without saying that any fighting as well.
To the west, canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island, and spare one and all the spectacle of mine inept strokes.
Two curved slabs of rock seem squeezed together here, giving the impression of giant stone islands.
Though it appeared solid enough, the rock heeled slightly under your touch.
Was the surface gently shifting? Was it just your imagination?
Well, what hast thou discerned? Most perceptive. According to the law of the Pixies, we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Aye, the self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the Source. I would enlist its aid to bear us unto the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, alike in form to the domes which do shelter the hamlets neath the ruby sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered, and defend ourselves when the hour of battle cometh, as it most surely shall. Now, I must needs ask for silence whilst I make my supplication. Full glad am I that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived in the Tempest, safe and dry. It is here that we shall find the lair of Emmett Selch, and, I believe, the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Usian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee unto the rift. Yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not soon risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the Crystal Tower and its powers of temporal transportation. Thus am I all but certain that this underwater realm harboureth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find them. Full glad am I that Bismarck was true to his word.
It's in Corlusia to return to the Tempest.
Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Emmett Selch will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery.
finless ones. They followed me. Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water?
Ah, so this is where the Ondo make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding.
Chieftain, what are we to do? Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones? The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave.
I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment.
So what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge.
Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emmett Selch's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return.
We cannot dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us... Our friend. Do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? How I had planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo. The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach, we can build a similar relationship here.
What kind of approach did you have in mind? That chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options.
If we are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. 'Tis plain our all too dramatic arrival hath thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason.
I smell chores, but very well, if it can be done quickly.
What do you think? I've nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to a dead end.
I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Arsians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation. Thus I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being.
Then it is settled. Y'shtola, pray proceed with your investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. Our friend! You won't believe who I've just bumped into. This is Pausius Uon, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore.
I waited and you did not come. Then the Mistel came, but his visits did not continue.
I am truly sorry, Pausius Uon. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology?
Perhaps. Where the dry return, a cavern to the north, is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, for we are the swifter swimmers. But now there is no water. We run, and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping with their claws. There are too many of them. Too many.
Ah, I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you? If you've not found a task, you are most welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company. Where the dry return has a rather ominous ring to it.
You could crack their shells. You must be stronger than you look.
I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number.
My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward.
Nay, Polsuan, this was to be a part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people.
Very well. Before the flood came, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam, aimless and lost, until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, but long had they stood under the water. Yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the tempest's turbulent waters and the predators which hunted in them. Their existence seemed a miracle. The first attempt to ponder their good fortune. It was clear the races will build sound once I guided them. But from this they discerned the truth. The ancients had chosen us to serve their caretakers of their eternal sanctuary. Built the sky in their but thus in the untouchable coming, it was my package by the ancients' desire.
Truly, the astonishing history. Yet I cannot but wonder, how would all the significance or otherwise of our arrival be decided?
The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the Sami, there will be no doubt in the matter.
Then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. We thank you for the lesson, Palshazuan, and will continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand. Only, do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs...
Hail, Finless One, and welcome to the Cups. Long have I wanted to converse with one of your kind. I am called Narosh Koal. How may I address you? Our friend, curious. Before we speak at length, there is something I would show to you. Let us leave behind the Cups and head due west. Come.
Have you learned aught of note? Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Now, there are two tasks I would have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Ondo settlement and note their most distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Pray be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the results of your investigations.
Inspect the structures of the Ondo cuts for distinctive features. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a building and examine it. The tall, slender towers feature many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. pressure, you cannot remove so much as a flake of stone.
And what have you discovered? Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. 'Twould seem the structures appear the same to both your sight and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade? Everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as a composite of several mineral properties, blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkan Empire, once the greatest power in Norvrant, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkans, then who? Who are these ancients the Ondo claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answer lies with the reason Emmett Selch withdrew here to the Tempest. He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals would struggle to reach, but there are many such remote locations. Why here specifically? Emmett Selch is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of stronghold somehow serves the Asian agenda. Or mayhap, 'tis a place more dear to him than any other. That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history, of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities, but here in the first, they might have remained untouched for millennia. A copy of the mural in the Kitana Revel. Almet presented it to me during my visit to Fano, after our victory in Here, in the first scene, by Emmett Selch's own words, it depicts a city of eons past, and the design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected? We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove. From what I have seen, naught more than sand, and more sand lies to the east, and the south held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further to the northwest.
Unravel mural at any time during this quest by using the relevant item in the key items.
The quest destination will not be displayed on the map. You must search for a structure which resembles the buildings in the mural, then inspect it from the survey point. The survey point will be found nearby in a location which allows a full view of the structure. Search for a structure which resembles one of the buildings in this mural, then inspect it from the survey point. The survey point will be found nearby the location, which allows a full view of the structure. According to Ursula's investigations, the area further northwest of the Ondo Cups may be a good place to start. Search for a structure which resembles one of the buildings in this mural. According to Ursula's investigations, the area further northwest of the Ondo Cups may be a good place to start. Search for a structure which resembles one of the buildings in this mural, then inspect it from the survey point. The survey point will be found nearby in a location which allows a full view of the structure. According to Bushilla's investigations, the area further northwest of the Ondo Cups may be a good place to start.
This is the mural writ large. Though I cannot guess at its purpose, it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder. Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins. Countless layers of dust and an entire civilization. Its existence forgotten by all except a handful of... And yet it did exist. They lived here in this city. But let us focus on what we've learnt thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of mysteries stirring, of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believes this phenomenon related to the ancients' return. Thus can we surmise that what the Ondo saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization. And who else would light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than Emmett Selch himself? 'Tis almost certain he is there. But if we are to find this stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you are not too weary, it may be useful to speak with Pausch's Uan again and ask if there is aught else he is willing to divulge.
Alfino's friend. You and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the walls of the Forgotten? Remnants to the northwest, yes? You visited them unbidden. Could it be that your footsteps were guided by the ancients? I believe it may be SSO. Listen then, and I will tell you of our plans to bring light to the walls, that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artisan and return with our long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose would be laid to rest. sharpen a metal structure to the soup.
Oh, that's just great, that is. Me mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Grenold. Someone's come to visit you at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Or might be as you're a ghost, eh? Go on, foul shade, feast yourself on me rotten soul. I've got no use for it. A craftsman what can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug with a diamond hammer. And that's an insult to bloody sea slugs.
Reynolds appears to be suffering from a crushing bout of self-doubt. Maybe you can help psych him up.
Eh? You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would you, Spirit? Not what you'd expect from a servant of the Netherworld. Where I can give myself over to me work, far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet here ye stand. Now what's so damned important that you'd dive all the way down to the bottom of the bleeding tempest to bother me? Ah, the Ondo's lamp. I'm worth less than a sea slug. Nay, the slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery date's long past, me workbench is untouched, and I call myself a bleeding artisan. You've heard their beliefs, have ye? Bringing light to them ruins will be an act of deep religious and cultural significance. And it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion, but I just can't bloody well. Tell me you've got summat to show me. Summat as'll give me muse a right good kick up the arse. The Ondo want to honour the coming of these ancients, so their answering light's got to blaze with the right kind of brightness. Like the spark of life caught in a crystal. But just being sparkly's not enough. It's got to dance with joy and sorrow and a sense of hardship endured.
Reynolds seeks a particular kind of inspiration, the kind that crystallizes only at the culmination of a long and tragic. Complete any of the role quest lines available at the Wandering Stairs in the Crystarium, then return to Grenold once more.